Hello, this is Greg Giardino,
And I'm Allison Hall.
and this is It's Your Smarter Money. So let's talk about New Jersey inheritance tax. So what is an inheritance tax, you may be wondering? It's a tax that's assessed on certain beneficiaries who inherit assets from a New Jersey estate. So let's talk a little bit more about that. So New Jersey is one of the 5 lucky states that imposes an inheritance tax. And the reason why we're having this video today is because we had a client dinner where someone had asked, well, if I leave my Jersey Shore vacation home to my brother in Florida, and as we know, Florida does not have an inheritance tax nor state income tax, will my brother who inherits the home have to pay New Jersey inheritance tax? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. And you may be wondering, well, how could that be? My beneficiary is in Florida. What really matters is the relationship of the beneficiary to the person that passed away in New Jersey. That's what you need to focus on. So New Jersey has these different buckets or classifications, classes as they call it. And you could see here that they have Class A beneficiaries, which are the direct lineal descendants. So if you leave your assets to a parent, to a spouse, there will not be any inheritance tax on those assets to the beneficiary. So that's great. But what about Class C and Class D beneficiaries? So Class C beneficiaries are your brother, your sister, children-in-law. Those folks will have to pay an inheritance tax, unfortunately. And then Class D beneficiaries, those are the cousins, the nieces, the nephews. It could be an unmarried partner, and it could also be leaving money to a friend. So this is something you really have to pay attention to, and the tax is not insignificant. So what can we expect to pay in taxes? So as you can see here, this is not chump change. As we mentioned, Class A beneficiaries do not have to pay a New Jersey inheritance tax. And Class C beneficiaries, it's different tiers. So the first 25,000, that's a freebie that won't be subject to inheritance tax, but you could see it can quickly escalate up to even 16%. In Class D beneficiaries, it's slightly a little bit worse here. You can see it's up to 15 and 16% respectively. So, Allison, can you talk to our audience a little bit more about some of the planning opportunities to maybe mitigate or avoid this inheritance tax?
Definitely. So, we've kind of positioned this as a New Jersey problem because, we have a good amount of clients there. And this is also where the question was posed. But it's not really irrelevant to our clients outside of New Jersey because you could be on the other side of this, which is to say inheriting assets from someone who lives in a state that imposes an inheritance tax. Depending on your relationship with that person, it may make sense for you to have a conversation with them about the strategies I'm going to go over. Or for those of you in New Jersey, here are some strategies that you can employ to reduce or avoid that tax liability. You can change your state of residency and move to a state with no inheritance tax, for example, Florida. As Greg mentioned, only 5 states have inheritance tax, and this is a pretty extreme option, but if you're going to, as we in the biz say, let the tax tail wag the dog, and move to another state over this, you might as well consider estate taxes too. They're a bit more widespread. I believe 12 states impose those. Another video for another day, something to consider. You can also gift money while you're alive. In 2025, $19,000 is the annual gift tax exclusion. Take note that there is, in New Jersey specifically, a 3-year look back, which means that if a gift is made within 3 years of death, the gift might be clawed back into the estate and thus making it taxable. You can also retitle assets into an irrevocable trust. If you do this, the grantor is giving up control of those assets and the trust is going to own and control them. If properly structured, though, beneficiaries may be exempt from inheritance tax. This one in particular, a qualified estate planning attorney is going to be a key player. You have to make sure that those documents are drafted correctly for this to work. This isn't a comprehensive list, but it's a few strategies to noodle on if inheritance tax is a big concern for you or your family.
Some great tips you have there, Allison. And another potential planning strategy is to maybe use life insurance. When you have a designated beneficiary of a life insurance policy, those beneficiaries will not have to pay New Jersey inheritance tax as well. So with that being said, we hope you learned a little bit more about how inheritance taxes work, especially here in New Jersey. And of course, if you have questions, if you're single, if you're leaving money to a cousin, a sibling, please make sure you're aware of what the after-tax effects will be. And if you have any questions, our team would be more than happy to help. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Take care.